Shannon, should T.O. be in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. Terrell Owens, number 2 in yards, 15,934. He's number 3 in touchdowns, 153.
I didn't really play particularly well, throughout the course of the day. I didn't want to let the team down. I was letting myself down at the time.
8 seconds to go, 3rd down. They only have time for 2 plays no matter what.
Well, that was definitely a significant point in my career. Obviously, I think that was where a lot of things began.
Terrell Owens was able to run today. With a one play here, does he make up for it? I don't believe it. One of the greatest finishes in 49er history.
I'm an entertainer. Yeah. Am I creative? Yeah.
It's all orchestrated and all about T.O. Joyless exercise and self-promotion. He is just an attention whore. He's a disgusting example of pro football at its very worst.
Grabbing the pom-poms and cheerleading. Who doesn't laugh when you see that? Owens did the Sharpie celebration with such swagger.
On this side, just makes the catch. Touchdown. Where is he? Get him.
He had a 10 in his slide, and he pulled it out and autographed the ball.
I was like, this is in the great tradition of American showmen like P.T. Barnum.
That's a first. Who would even think of that?
I said, this is something Babe Ruth would have done.
It's kind of, you go to a guy's house and you go to the Star, it's kind of symbolic, right?
Garcia, play fake, bootleg to the right, throws it in the end zone all alone. Terrell Owens, touchdown, San Francisco.
The first time I went to the Star, like I said, it had nothing to do with Dallas. It had nothing to do with Emmitt Smith.
And Owens draws more boos by standing in the middle of the blue star and looking heavenward and spreading his arms. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith. And boy, is he fired up. Look at him run. Look at him bring the football all over. Oh, he's going to do what Owens did. Right into the middle of the star, puts the football down and strikes it.
To be a battle, it's going to be a battle. Okay, we're at your house. I did it the first time you did it. Okay, well, stop me from doing it again. So the second time when I went to the Star, that was really kind of out of retaliation.
Oh, they're going to have a big fight. There goes Owens. Teague levels it.
Here it goes.
And now Teague is aimed at by an offensive lineman. Flozell Adams pulls Teague away, and Owens is waved to the bench, and he stands in the middle of the Star and holds the ball out. There are flags everywhere.
And let me tell you something, Brad.
I was pissed, all right? I chewed him out in the locker room in front of the team. I said, we will never win like that. And so I acted because I felt like I should.
Steve Mariucci suspended Owens.
Yeah, I felt betrayed behind it because I didn't feel the support of the head coach.
After 8 seasons, the relationship between Owens and the 49ers was over. In 2004, Terrell Owens was looking for a new team.
Tuesday afternoon, Terrell Owens' private plane landed in Philadelphia.
After Owens was acquired by the Eagles, he signed a 7-year contract. Owens caught 14 touchdowns in his first 12 games.
Dance. He reaches down, grabs some turf. He's doing Ray Lewis's dance in his face.
I thought it was one of the more disrespectful things I've ever seen.
I felt like I had arrived. Like, this is what being a superstar is like.
He fires, and it is complete to Owens at the 50. Owens pulled down to the Cowboys 47.
Philadelphia knees, right?
Now he's slowly getting up and running, trying to run and shake it off, I guess.
Owens had a fractured fibula and a high ankle sprain. His season appeared to be over.
For the average person, you know, that's, maybe on some crutches or a boot or something. That's a 10-week process.
Philadelphia was Super Bowl bound.
The doctor, he didn't medically clear me to play. So I had to sign a waiver to release the Eagles of any liability.
You find out you had broken your leg, minimum 10 weeks recovery time, Super Bowl 6.5 weeks away.
You'll find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on
To what extent do you think you put your career in jeopardy by playing in that game?
Oh, I put everything on the line.
Here's what I can say against playing against him in the Super Bowl. So he's coming off a ridiculous injury that nobody thought he had any chance of playing in that game. We prepped like he wasn't going to play. We prepped like he could play. Not only did he play, but we double covered him and tried to deal with him, and he was incredibly productive.
And I'm gonna have a leg in the case now. Imagine what he'd be doing if he were healthy. G.O. at the bottom of the screen. Blitz. Pump fake from McNabb. Over the middle. Touchdown. Smith.
All right, 0 slot out. 74 quick. D slant on one. Ready?
Second and goal, Philadelphia 4. Brady calling signals. Back to throw. Look. Fires to the right. Touchdown. Touchdown. Right side of the end zone to David Gibbons.
Blitz, Trotter comes again. Brady throws. Pass is caught. And they will mark Branch out at the 2. Dion Branch down. Mike Vrabel on the end of the line, the left side. Brady play action, fires. Vrabel catches him.
The Phillies decline. Touchdown.
Owens caught 9 passes for 122 yards.
The umpire is a pick there to just create enough separation to pick up that first down.
First and goal. Blitz. McNabb throws. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Westbrook. And here the Eagles yelling out, watch the screen. The Patriots do screen it to Falk. And Falk is going to be marked out of bounds, short of the end zone. Vrabel is in. Holstein is blocking for Dillon. Corey Dillon, touchdown New England. And the Patriots are back on top.
I did beyond what was expected. I went to the Super Bowl. I played with 2 screws and a plate in my ankle. Broken fibula, played in that game. And guys like yourself called me selfish for playing in that game.
Time's a wasting. Under 4 minutes left.
I think they're being a little too casual with the time.
Second down and 10. Minute 55 remaining. Westbrook at the top of your screen. Down the middle of the field. Lewis, touchdown, and Philadelphia's not finished yet. And there's life. And there's life.
Okay, come on, man. Are you serious?
That's what they were serious.
That should be a plus and not a
You have
negative.
time to communicate that much on the line of scrimmage, and anytime you can minimize it, try to do that.
It's going to be almost impossible for them to have a completed pass to run another play. They're going to have to really hustle.
They're going to throw 2 Hail Marys. Down the middle of the field, the pass is picked off by Harrison. Rodney Harrison takes it in, and 9 seconds remain, and the New England Patriots are on their way to solidifying their team as an NFL dynasty.
What's your impact? What's your legacy on the game? And so, despite all the stats T.O. put up, you know what his legacy is? He was the clown show of the NFL. That's what people remember, the popcorn and all the buffoonery, more than his production on the field.
But as with the 49ers, it didn't take long for Owens to develop irreconcilable differences with the Eagles.
There was a game against the New York Giants, and there was a beef on the field between them. T.O. thought he was open.
McNabb straight back. He's looking, goes over the middle, and it's thrown behind Westbrook.
There was an exchange of words, and I told him that I was open.
Apparently, Donovan gave him explicit of shut the up and get back in the huddle.
Donovan's just trying to get away from him and find some peace, but he will not let it rest.
Donovan McNabb had enough of Terrell Owens telling him how open he was on an individual play.
As much as he was getting from McNabb, he needed more. And McNabb was thinking, you in great. I brought you here. I put you on the best team you've ever been on. You got more attention, which you craved, than you ever got before.
Owens later accused McNabb of getting tired during the Super Bowl loss, and their relationship had really faded away.
Did he challenge you to a fight last week, and how did you respond?
Next question.
One guy doesn't make a team. Break a team, maybe.
It is tough losing a guy of his caliber, but I think we might be better off. He misread his contract. He thought he had a 7-year contract, and essentially he had a 2-year contract. That made it friendly for the Eagles. If he caused a problem, they could cut him after year 2.
It hurts, just to hear all the criticism. And, obviously I'm in a contract situation now, and, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Andy told me to just go home, keep yourself in shape.
That wasn't really a pretty thing, I don't think.
I had no idea that I had a T.O. tracking device on me with the Philadelphia media.
He did not want to be on camera, did not want to have any attention. Why is he playing basketball on his front property?
I took Andy's advice as far as working out, so I brought my bench outside, and while they were asking me questions.
Some would say this is starting to become a circus.
I love the fans. For 7 years, we never had to deal with anything like this. And in one off-season, it has turned into a complete circus.
Probably may have not been the smartest things that I've done in my career.
I love the fans.
T.O.'s relationship with the Eagles would reach the point of no return on November 3rd. Owens fought former teammate Hugh Douglas in the locker room.
Terrell Owens has been suspended by the team for 4 games for conduct detrimental to the team. And he will not be returning to play for the team even after the conclusion of that suspension.
This may really work and work great for the Cowboys.
And now to the fans, all I can say is get your popcorn ready. Because it's going to be a show.
He's just trying to win just like everybody else. He just comes with some different antics, some different fun, and different demeanor. So.
Tell me I won't never be nothing, ain't that something? I've risen from the bottom, I got him out.
First you have to score, and Romo does with Terrell Owens.
Trust me, when we got in between those lines, I did my job.
First and goal now. And the throw. Owens into the end zone for the touchdown.
The ball is 42. You might as well go for it. 4th down and 8. Romo stepping away from pressure, throws, and that's caught by Owens. What a break!
But the #1 criteria for are you a Pro Football Hall of Famer is, in 97 years of pro football, they have to tell your story to be able to tell the story of pro football. And you cannot tell the story of the NFL the last 20 years and not include T.O.
So you don't find that with a lot of Hall of Fame.
The greatest of his position of all time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Then he should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's his donation to the Salvation Army Red Kettle Drive.
Like a bull in a glass house, no bull about to smash out.
T.O. wrote himself in the story with his play, but he also took himself out of the Hall of Fame with his buffoonery on the field.
From the penthouse to pavement, you better hear what I said.
Owens flourished, setting a Cowboys single-season record with 15 receiving touchdowns.
Start pouring the molds for the statue. Goodness gracious heaven.
Dallas was 13-3 and a Super Bowl favorite.
Flips the ball to Jason Witten for a big 18-yard gain and first down. The last chance for the Dallas Cowboys.
But a number of players pulled me aside, slowly but surely. This is one that they pulled me aside, and they said, "What are you thinking? He is tearing our team apart." Bill Polian said that the Hall of Fame ought to be for people who made their teams better. I believe, Terrell, that you helped ultimately make all three of those teams a little worse by internally tearing them apart. Yeah, I'm going to make my case. We can go team by team if you want to.
Absolutely. You guys can point the finger at him. You can talk about the vacation. And if you do that, it's really unfair. It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team. We lost as a team, man.
But for the third time, what started out as a blissful honeymoon would once again end in a bitter divorce.
The Cowboys have been anything but sharp, and offensively, they just have not gotten it done on any level.
When he wasn't catching 13 balls for 181 yards, it had to be somebody's fault. I understand that he had issues in San Francisco, and they might not have been his. And I understand that he had issues in Philadelphia, and they might not have been his. And I understand that he had issues with the Cowboys, and they might not have been his. But in my world, if every time you go someplace, there's a problem, maybe you're the problem.
We're going to the off season, and I talked to Jerry, and we went into this little restaurant. He gets out a pen, and he draws a line down the middle of the table.
The Cowboys are cutting ties with a controversial receiver.
He wrote Tony Romo's name on this side, wrote my name over here, and then he wrote the team over here, and he wrote something else over here, and he said, "You're over here, Romo, organization, Cowboys over here." He said, "We gotta part ways." Is Ashton Kutcher in here? Is this, we getting punked?
Terrell, in your first year of eligibility, you were not elected into Canton. Now, your all-time ranks, let's get into this. Second in receiving yards, third in receiving TDs, and sixth in receptions. Pretty impressive. Looks like Hall of Fame numbers to me. Why do you think you didn't get into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think number one, the guy to my right, I think he has a big part in really a lot of negative criticism of me, and I really have attacked my character in a sense. I think for me, the Hall of Fame numbers, I think they speak for themselves. I think the process is flawed. You think about the guys like Skip, a lot of detractors out there, naysayer pundits, and people that really don't know me on a personal level.
Hall of Fame is based on accolades and stats and numbers that you contribute in between the white lines. Character, personal issues that people might have with the individual should not be factored in.
G.O.A.T was just drama, man. G.O.A.T was a must-see team.
You think it's a distraction? Is this just hurting?
There is no Terrell
Owens. Now it's almost like he's a punchline because of all the things that he's done.
We tend to then push their accomplishments aside because we don't like them. We have a bad attitude.
You played a very large part in internally tearing apart three very good teams.
I've always been a we guy. Whether you believe that or not depends on who you ask.
Okay, and then you showed up, Greg Knapp, on the sidelines in Minneapolis and Minnesota.
And did not Tom Brady do that to his offensive coach?
But I thought...
Why is it different?
I thought you were taking the focus off the fact that Randy Moss was showing you up on the field that day.
Yelling at Greg Knapp. What's Greg Knapp going to do? He'll play tackle?
Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator.
I know about 3 offensive linemen I played with would have knocked him out of that.
So why is it different when I did it,
because
Tom Brady has done
there
it. Why?
were so many of these incidents.
What difference does it make? It's an emotional game.
Okay.
He's done it to some of his own players. So that makes him better than me?
Okay,
That makes his passion a little bit more than mine?
At first, you were roommate, soulmate with Donovan McNabb. And I know Donovan very well. I've had conversations with him about why it all fell apart. But it really, really fell apart, and it split apart the Eagles ultimately. That's why I nicknamed you Team Obliterator, which I'm sure you did not appreciate. But I'm going to stand by what I've said.
I've been called worse by that.
I'm sure you have.
So I go back to the huddle, and I was like, dude, I was open. You know what his response to me was?
I know what his response was, but go ahead, tell Skip.
Shut the up.
Okay.
I didn't argue about it. I said, cool. But I went into the locker room and addressed him after the game, man to man. Knowing the things that have happened in San Francisco, I didn't want to happen in Philly.
Right.
Went up to him, addressed him, told him I didn't appreciate that and don't let that happen again. For whatever reason, he may have taken, I don't know how he took it, he didn't like it, and that's where things started to unravel. So these are things that you aren't made aware of, that I've tried to do to make myself a better person and a player based on things that happened in San Francisco.
Terrell Owens being in the Hall of Fame. And the reason I'm reading that is because you brought up you were going to tease about why the Hall of Fame is all screwed up. And I believe it's because you think that Terrell Owens belongs in the Hall of Fame.
100% right.
All right, yeah, so I do too. And I think he was the first ballot Hall of Fame.
He's the second Hall. We'll get to it after the break.
But they were saying, and then Nick goes on and says, all right, you don't want to put him in because maybe he was a pain in the neck off the field, maybe he had some issues off the field, whatever.
Right.
He goes, I have been critical of Terrell Owens with some of the crap that he pulled on the field and all the other stuff, but I also know a great player when I see one, and one of the best players of all time. He's an all-decade player.
How about this? Chris Carter's in the Hall of Fame. Terrell Owens had 23 more touchdowns than Chris Carter.
I don't understand why it's a conversation.
He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And he's right to say that getting in after this means nothing to me because how am I not in now?
To the critics and doubters, those individuals who have smiled in my face but defamed me behind my back, you know who you are. This is for you. And when they ostracized me and tried to keep me from what I rightfully earned, not once, but twice, what I'm about to do next is a little unconventional, but hey, what's new? If you've ever felt like an outcast, please stand up. If you've ever felt isolated, please stand up. If you've been or you've felt misunderstood, please stand up. This is for you. If you've ever been lied on, mischaracterized, please stand up. This is for you. To everyone that has felt like giving up, please stand up. This is for you. To everyone who feels or felt overlooked, please stand up. This is for you. To everyone from small cities with big dreams, please stand up. This is for you.